here to support Ukraine. Rodion from Nova Ukraine.
Слава Україні! Слава нації! Україна! Russia is a terrorist state! Russia is a terrorist state! Russia is a terrorist state! I wanted to start by thanking you all for being here today. This present is the testament of the values of freedom, justice, and peace, and just peace for Ukraine. My name is Rodion. I'm part of a nonprofit here in Bay Area in California called Nova Ukraine. Nova Ukraine is a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing humanitarian aid to Ukraine. We were founded in 2014, and since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine 3 years ago, we sent over $120 million in aid and helped over 8 million people in Ukraine. We focus on medical supplies, emergency relief, and infrastructure support. Our advocacy efforts go beyond our humanitarian aid. We work to raise awareness, engage policymakers, and ensure Ukraine's struggle remains at the forefront of the U.S. discourse. Let's set the record straight. Russia is responsible for starting the war in Ukraine. The war against Ukraine did not begin in 2022. It started 11 years ago with the illegal annexation of Crimea and the war in the east of Ukraine. For years, Ukraine attempted to negotiate peace. Agreements were made, most notably in Minsk, but Russia never honored them. Ceasefires were always broken, promises were discarded, and every diplomatic effort was met with violence. Make no mistake, Russia alone is responsible for full scale of Ukraine. Their goal is not just land. Their goal is eradication of Ukrainian people and nation. The evidence to this is everywhere. Ukrainian children kidnapped and indoctrinated in Russia. I see a lot of posters reminding us of this. Systematic use of torture and sexual violence against Ukrainian civilians and prisoners of war. Targeting our energy infrastructure, children's hospital, museum, and cultural sites. The same old brutal tactics, mass conscription, human wave assaults, and endless expansionism, threatening not just Ukraine, but the whole Europe. Of course, this is not new. The Red Army committed similar genocides in Kiev. Of course, the Holodomor, the massive famine designed to starve Ukraine into submission, resulting in death from 4 to 7 million Ukrainians. The deportation of Crimean Tatars. And of course, more recently, Chechnya, Georgia, Syria, Aleppo, Bucha, Irpin, Mariupol, Izum. The pattern repeats. Russia only understands fear and violence. They use repression, deportation, popular replacement, brainwashing, mobilization for the new wars. Rinse and repeat pattern. Russia will not stop. This cancer will continue growing unless it stops now. History is watching. The United States must be on the right side of this history. As I travel through San Francisco and California here, I see Ukrainian and American flags still rising together. It tells me that Americans and Ukrainians believe in the same values that Ukrainians are fighting for. And yet, a lot of us here right now feel betrayed. The hesitation, the delays, the political games of the current time, they do have real consequences. However, nobody in Ukraine is giving up, and neither should you. If you believe in liberty and justice and the right for nations to exist, make your voice heard. For all of us, call your elected officials. Share the truth with your friends and family and colleagues. Donate to your charity of choice to support ZSU. Do not let history repeat itself. If US abandons Ukraine, the consequences will be dire. Not just Ukraine, but the America and the world. This is a defining moment. Stand with Ukraine, stand for freedom, and together we'll make sure the history remembered on which side we all stood. Thank you.
Thank you, great.